Right.
Fine now?
I'm here now.
Okay, is Kim there? No? So
No.
We'll start the meeting. Welcome to the ESRS monthly meeting, or kind of a 6 weeks meeting. This is the agenda for today. I will start with a safety moment. Usually I let people decide on the safety moment, but this time I will do it because I think it will be important to remember what happened last January. So I will propose to hold a 1 minute of silence in respect of the victims of the recent Brazil's deadly dam collapse. So if you're okay with that, we'll start with a 1 minute of silence starting now. Thank you. So for those of you who are new to this meeting, my name is Edith Garneau, and I'm the chair of the ESRS, Environmental and Social Responsibility Society. And I have other people online, but I won't ask anyone to introduce themselves. I think we can see the names. And I just want to, so the ESRS-CIM that you're seeing on as a participant is Karen Chauvin, our vice chair for the ESRS. So for the approval of the agenda, usually we do a meeting that is not that official. So if anyone has a comment or would like to add something on the agenda? So I guess the agenda is fine as it is. We have on the third point, the technical program, which is related to the CIM convention. So maybe Karen, you can give us an update on the technical program.
Okay, so the technical program is more or less set now. We have in the two streams for sustainable development and people and communities, we have 14 sessions altogether, and then we also helped to create probably 3 or 4 more that are embedded in other streams. So we have quite a range of topics this year. The standard ones: tailings, water, closure and reclamation. But we have some stuff on climate change, including I just confirmed with having a session on small nuclear reactors. We have mine electrification. We have a whole session that is around sort of circularity of lithium and supporting the electric mine type of stuff. And we have value from waste, just a whole series on the sustainable development side. And then we also have, in the people and communities, we have some stuff around co-development with various operations. We have some interesting technologies being used for social engagement and more visibility of what's happening at mine sites and such. We also have some stuff around some training for future operations and diversity and inclusion, and then we have our stakeholder dialogue session within there as well. So really good wide range of topics for the sessions, and it'll just, I think, be really great this year. So we've made good progress in working with the other societies and just generally sharing things across. So I'm really happy with that. We also have on the Sunday, we have our Tailings Workshop, which will really be focused around risk and change management. That theme was already chosen before the incident in Brazil, but it's even more top of mind now. And so there's a lot of work going on how we can really look at preventing some of these types of risks from appearing. And then we have our stakeholder dialogue, which I believe will be a little bit more around social engagement, and we're still planning the details of that one, but I think it's around Mexican mine development. So
yeah, we also have other courses on the Sunday, which are related a little bit more on social responsibility, and I think we are looking for registration, making sure that people are registering. No, how do you say that? Registered to those workshops or courses. So I invite all of you to to do that registration of the CIM convention, and making sure that you participate to those great workshops that will be given on the Sunday, I think. And for the multi-stakeholder dialogue workshop, Andres Ricardes, who's the lead of the working group, will they have a new way of a new format for the multi-stakeholder dialogue. So it will be very interesting, because they're working with one mine firm, and that will be a study case. So that will be very refreshing. So we'll see what will happen with that. So definitely make sure to be there to that workshop, which will be on the Wednesday. And just to add that our AGM, ESRS AGM this year, it's always during the CIM convention, but this time it will be on the Monday at noon. So make sure to be there Monday at noon for the during the CIM convention. And I saw on our participant today, Nathan Stubina. So maybe Nathan, you could talk a little bit about this opening plenary, because it's also a new format. Are you willing to share with us?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Very well.
Okay. So I'm actually tired of the usual format where, you know, they waste a lot of time introducing the speakers, and then each speaker ends up talking about their own company, and before you know it, a half an hour disappears. Or the format where if each speaker agrees with each other, they feel like they have to speak about 5 minutes, even though they're all in agreement. So I'm trying to have it more interactive. So we're going to use something like Slido, where the audience could be polled in real time about how they feel on a particular topic. Or if the audience wants to ask a question, they can just go right onto Slido, and then the moderator will see if there's, you know, similar questions. So I'm trying to make it more controversial, if you will. So if the speakers don't agree with each other, then, you know, they can talk about it. But if they agree, I'm just going to cut them off, because you know, there's nothing more to add. So I'm going to try to make it a faster pace, more audience participation, and to you know, get a feel for what the audience is thinking. So instead of the usual format, we'll see how it turns out. And we have you know, quite a spectrum of speakers. So they'll be not speakers but panelists. So that they have different viewpoints. Some young, some old, some new ideas, some old ideas. So we'll try to get it more dynamic and pretty much set the tone for the following 3 days.
Okay, so we are expecting a provocative plenary.
That's why they asked me.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Yes, Karen.
I just wanted to add, just in light of the registration rates for the workshops and whatnot being low still, I mean, that's not to be too unexpected at this point, but we're going to be issuing a newsletter describing them a bit more. So feel free to share that newsletter within your networks. Not everybody's a part of ESRS, and invite them to attend. Also, I found out yesterday that CIM is going to have a much different marketing program this year. And so they actually are creating in social media for every speaker, they will have a little snapshot of the the title and the session they're in. And they'll be posting those on social media. So if you see things that are related to our topics, then share them away, invite people to come out. So that will help bump up our numbers with people coming in.
Yeah, that's great. And we still have a space for some of the working groups. So if you are interested to be involved for the CIM convention this year, you can always contact us, and you can use the ESRS email address, but you can also contact us personally, because we have space with some working groups, such as the multi-stakeholder dialogue workshops. They are still working for that activity, and they need help. They will need some lead for tables at each table. So if you are interested, please contact us about that. And also, if you are interested to be involved with the ESRS for the next year, that will be the time. So contact us, and at the CIM convention at the AGM, we'll discuss about that also. So are there any questions regarding the technical program? No, good. I'm surprised, but good.
No, just
so then we'll go. Yes.
Sorry, Edith, Dave Corriveau here. I couldn't hit the unmute button fast enough. Mine wasn't so much a technical question, but I didn't catch his name. The speaker that was talking about the provocative plenary, the tool is called Slide-O. I take it that's just the tool that's commercially available somewhere, right? But I just want to make sure I got the name right.
Yeah, it's sli.do.
Oh,
or
okay.
you can go www.slido is one word, SLIDO.
Okay.
You could hold it for any event. For any event,
Yeah.
you get 3 questions free. If you want more than that, then it's paying. But there's a few of them.
Yeah.
But it's the one I'm more familiar with.
Perfect. Thank you.
And the one who just talked is Nathan Stubina. Thank you, Nathan. And thank you, David.
But if you guys have anything specific that you want to put the panelists on the spot with respect to tailings or the environment or anything, I'm still open to suggestions. So I actually had a request on my LinkedIn page, but you can go through Karen. She has my contact. Sorry about that, Karen. I hope you don't.
No, that's fine. I was like, well, we have a few that we could poke at, but I don't know how controversial you want to be.
We ran into.
I have a comment about tailings that might be used in the workshop. I'm wondering how much longer tailings ponds will be in use, and if there can be a discussion about a relative cost of tailings ponds and paste as compared to the relative risks.
Yeah, that ties in well with Janice just helped kick off the Global Mineral Processing Alliance when she was at the SME conference and announced it on LinkedIn. So there's a big effort that will be kicking off, but as all collaborative efforts happen to be, they usually take a long time to get up and running and going. So, but it would be good to see what companies are doing actively to look at serious change. So
that was a point mentioned during the CIM Council also, Jan, about this new initiative, and it was nice to see CIM taking a stand on that. Okay. Other questions or comments?
Just one comment, Edith, to Jan's request. When the time comes, unfortunately, I won't be able to attend this year's CIM convention in Montreal. I'll actually be in Cape Town at a PACE conference that week. But yeah, one of the reasons is I retired from Shell last year, Jan. So I moved back to Canada. Yeah. And anyway, one of the roles I took on here in Calgary is works at a consortium. It's called Canadian Oil Sands Innovation Alliance, and I volunteered for this director of tailings role. So reason I raise it because I've got access to a lot more than a single company's view. and it might be useful as we're getting into things in the future with regards to discussions around tailings ponds versus alternatives. So I just make that as a comment, Edith, not as an offer of service yet, but I'm still getting my feet back on the ground in Canada, so that's why I haven't been able to join you guys for a bit. So.
Okay, thank you very much. And David, I will encourage you to talk with Alistair Kent. He's our lead for the tailing working groups. We have a tailings working group, so he will be very interested, I'm sure, to hear about that. Okay. And maybe future services that you could offer.
Thank you.
Free, of course.
Yeah, the usual CIM rate. Yeah, that's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, much of us in the earth sciences do this out of the goodness of our hearts, of course. So yes.
Definitely. Any other comments or questions regarding the technical program? So we're fine. Okay, good. A review of activities. I will ask the leads of different groups, working groups, to talk a little bit about what they are working on, if they want, but I'm sure they won't. I saw that many of them are not in the meeting, but for those of one who want to talk, that's the time. So if I look at it, do you want to start, Karen, so that we'll prepare the audience for and the leads to talk after?
Sure. I mean, obviously, most of my time up till right now has been on the conference.
We can hardly hear you, Karen.
Oh, let me turn that up then. Does that help? Yeah, much of my time's been spent on the conference itself, and also looking at our webinars. I'm trying to make sure we have a lineup as we go forward. We have a few cancellations here and there, and trying to fit things back in can be a bit of juggle sometimes, but overall we've had a few this year, so there's that. And then just sort of helping like monitor things along with different working groups. I'm sort of tied in a little bit on NI 43-101 just in the background, same with the tailings working group, and updates on ISO a little.
I guess still can't hear you very well.
Okay, sorry. One of the things that I'm working on moving forward is really on alternate things for tailings management, value from waste, biomining, and I'll be working with a few others to see where we can maybe either do workshops or just some smaller sessions at various conferences to move that forward. And let's see, supporting Laurel a little bit on the website, the new website that we have. I'm fairly in the background on that one now, but was more active before. And
just a second, Karen. How many of you went to see the ESRS website? Okay, so we have a ESRS website. So I would invite you to go and check the website and also give us comments about this website.
Yeah, so it's still in development, but one thing that you can find there is all of our past webinar conference recordings and slide decks. So under the resources tab, definitely you can see that, and anything we have coming up in terms of events, we will post there as well.
Thank you. Okay, can you explain a little bit what happened when a webinar is canceled at the last minute? Because just to make sure people understand and realize, that it's happening.
So if people have registered through the Eventbrite for a webinar, they will get an email directly from Eventbrite that will indicate that it's canceled. And if we have an alternate date at that point in time, we'll inform you as well. But we haven't till now been posting it online anywhere or putting a newsletter out, because most times it has been very last minute. If we do have notice of changes ahead of time, we can put it in a newsletter and put it out there, but generally you'll only be really notified if you have registered for the Eventbrite itself. So that's kind of how we've been working with our webinars. And so I do encourage you, if you want to attend, to throw your name on the list, even if you're not sure if you can attend. We have a lot of people who register and then watch the recording later. So that's kind of how that works. The other thing that I've spent a lot of time on is just talking to different societies and or other groups that we might tie into. So for example, I just had a conversation with somebody at PDAC around the IMARC conference. So that's one area. And again, on the value from waste type of topic, I've been in contact with NRCan and Janice and some other groups that are interested in advancing that as well. So trying to bring different people together to see where we might move things forward. So I guess that's really my update on my activities so far, and just keep moving things forward.
Thank you. Anyone else? I see Carola, Gabrielle.
Sure. Hi, my name is Carola Toth. I'm a past chair of ESRS, and as past chair, I'm involved in a couple of things, mainly looking at membership. We have over 2,000 members who are indicated to be wanting to be in ESRS. So this is everyone who registers at the outs. When you're registering for CIM National, you can pick societies. So the number fluctuates based on how we get our reporting and how often, but it's been pretty steady around 2,000, and we have a variety of people participating in this group here. Lots of industry participants as well as consultants. Academics, we don't see as many NGOs now, although they do attend our conferences. So I think it's important to look at that, because CIM is bringing together a wide variety of people here that normally don't necessarily get together and get a chance to participate in discussing some of the issues facing mining these days. So, and one of my activities for the coming period, once I'm done with NI 43-101, is to look at it more closely and to look at recruitment, also into making sure that our executive is not overworked, which is at the point it is right now, and identifying people who can participate and lead some of the activities, of course, together with the current leadership as well. So with that, I can talk a little bit about NI 43-101. So this is really what has taken up most of my time these days. We've been looking at pulling together some guidance on better reporting around environmental and social issues. This project has been going on since 2016. And we're in the stage right now where we have a draft document pulled together. We have broken up into different working groups addressing a variety of areas. So things like tailings management, environmental reporting, social aspects, social and community aspects, closure aspects as well. Every one of those groups have now prepared their own draft sections of what they would like to see as sort of a standard guidance for disclosing around these topics. And the next activity is to do a very big edit and bring it all together, and under 50 pages, which is what the document is at this time. So it's anybody out there who likes editing documents and is familiar with NI 43-101, I'm happy to have suggestions. But it's been a great privilege to be working with the team. We have members in ESRS who are very knowledgeable, and certainly their input has been most beneficial to our efforts. So that's it. Oh, and next is at the convention.
Could I make a quick comment? Carola asked for volunteers. If you want editors, I would be willing to have a go at it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, thank you.
One additional comment that I should make is that 43-101, I was in Argentina in February. 43-101 is very well known. And when I mentioned that the environmental and social part would be strengthened, I got many positive comments.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Good. So just next, what is coming up while we're working on the draft, we do have the convention coming up, and we have a section of the convention dedicated to talking about this, just in a little bit more detail of you know, what we're putting into the guidance document, and it's meant to be an initiation step for a wider consultation to industry as we are finalizing this document. So Wednesday morning, look for us. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Other members of the executive or leads of working groups?
My name is Gabriel Castillo. I'm in charge of the publications, member of the technical committee of publications. So my work with Edith is trying obviously to bring the different information and journals, papers from universities and authors that want to share information about environment and social responsibility. We are in charge to receive the different new documents that arrive and obtain the peer review, and then define if this is a document that is ready to go to the journals. And at the same time, trying to invite different possible authors outside from Canada to try to they start to do publications in the same journal. We have a plan to have a journal, a special edition on environmental and social responsibility for this fall. So we're working on that. And obviously in the mining sector, in my experience, we always are not maybe the best communicators in these topics. And we are encouraging the companies to start to show what they're doing, not just in the reports, but to try to bring their experience, but with academic perspectives too.
Thank you, Gabriel. Other leads or member of the executive?
Jan Boon, I have a little comment. I belong to the curriculum group, and I talked to Anne Johnson at the PDAC. She had been trying to organize a workshop with a panel and get people from academia and industry on the panel, but she can't get any action out of the committee of deans of mining departments. I forgot how it's exactly called. So that's a bit stuck because there's no, there doesn't seem to be an appetite on that body to do this right now. And I'm not sure whether we should go ahead and do it anyway without involving them, or trying to bypass Annie Mitri and find someone else on that committee that would be able to contribute. Anyway, I'm not in the lead here, so that's just from what I'm reporting as hearsay.
Yeah, so I've been in contact with them both now, and we have confirmed speakers. Hani did confirm the other speakers for that panel, so that will be one of the sessions at CIM. I can't comment on activities of the working group otherwise, but for sure we will have a panel, and it'll be a good chance to bring everyone together at CIM to maybe get things moving forward on what the focus of activities will be moving. So
there was also talk about doing something with Scott Dunbar, who sounded very enthusiastic in the beginning of January, but it seems that that has fizzled a bit too. I think Laurel is busy with other stuff. Yeah. Unfortunately, I will probably not be at the CIM meeting, otherwise I could take that on. But anyway.
God is also on the panel, so we'll have everyone together.
Yep. Perfect.
And we'll be working on it.
Yeah, we have to remember that that all those work coming from us and all the volunteers is a volunteer kind of job, so it's not paid. So of course we depend on the accessibility and the willing of all the members. I would suggest that, and I already said that to members of the executive of ESRS, but we will probably have a session with all the working groups leads and make sure that we talk to everyone and clarify the roles of everyone also regarding working groups coming from ESRS-CIM. Okay, that might help a little bit too. Other comments or questions?
I have one additional comment, and it's just a call for volunteers. I'm a member of the International Association for Promoting Geoethics, and we are planning to write a white paper on subsea mining, on the ocean floor mining. And we have only scarce expertise on that. So if anybody on our committee knows about subsea mining, we invite him to form part of the working group to produce that white paper. Just let me know.
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I have also a little comment for Gabrielle, well, not for Gabrielle, for everyone, but since we're working on a special edition of the CIM journal regarding social responsibility, I'm asking all of you, if you are interested, please contact Gabrielle or I or myself regarding that special edition. We will have that on the newsletter also, but if you're interested, please contact us. That should be for end of 2019, beginning of 2020. Anything else from other leads? I might mention that Risa Fury, who's in the lead for the awards, did the great jobs of trying to find people, members of the ESRS, to be involved with any kind of awards coming from that will be announced at the CIM convention. And we have, if you remember, we have a Diversity and Inclusion Award, which is not owned, but which is a subsidy coming from the ESRS. And there are other type of awards. So the awards, we just finished, someone from the executive just finished her job as a judge, and all the awards will be given at the CIM convention. But I will encourage you to make sure that if you know someone that are great, and I'm sure we have many ESRS members that are great, make sure to contact Risa so she can start work on the next year awards and nominate members of ESRS or other people anyway. Any other leads, or do we have anyone from the social part and the environmental? Do we have our second VP? No, no one's there. Okay.
Sorry, no, they are unable to attend today.
That's fine. Okay, so that's a review of activities. Well, let me tell you some. We have a strategic plan, so I'll just go through some of the activities that I work on. Mainly, we are working on best practices, so working on some standards. I saw Isabelle Levesque being online. So Isabelle, do you have something to say about the ISO 82SC7? I don't want to put you on the spot, but if there's something, please do not hesitate to talk to us about it.
Okay, well, I actually don't have anything at the moment, but one thing I can say with regards to the tailings world is currently about 30 mining companies are meeting in London for ICMM and discussing about tailings and a plan. And I know they put out a release when they were in Miami last that they would lead towards a guideline or a standard to improve practices across the companies. So at the end of this week or next week, there should be, I'm guessing, a release of some sort of information on the outcome of their meetings that they had this week. So that should be interesting to keep an eye out for.
Just on that too, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but CIM National also put the announcement out that MAC updated their guide, or their OMS and their tailings management guides as well. So
no, it is Charles Demaresque is in London as well, because they are discussing of maybe having MAC guideline as at least the template.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To start working on it.
Starting from scratch.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I don't know what they discussed this week, so we should keep an eye out for any release or information that comes out. Yeah.
True.
Thanks.
Good. Thank you, Isabelle.
Could I make one final comment? This is Jan. I was asked at the PDAC by the organizers of a conference on the environment in Ecuador to identify some good speakers on environmental issues. And maybe if somebody knows a good speaker that could give a really interesting perspective on environmental matters in mining, I would put that person in contact with the organizers of the conference that will be held in September in Quito. And they would pay for the transportation, $1,000 US, and they would pay for the hotel.
Good. Okay.
Just to say on top of that, the IMARC conversation I mentioned, they were also of the same frame. They're looking for speakers from Canada to specialize in sustainable development in various areas, because they don't do a call for papers, but they want more best practices, and they know there's a lot going on.
Can we add those two last comments to the newsletter, the ESRS newsletter, the next one?
I think for me, the IMARC, I'll wait until I have more information, but.
Okay. Sure. So Ian, if you can write a little paragraph and send it to Karen or Laurel. Laurel is in charge of the newsletter, and then they can announce it within our membership.
I'll do that.
Good.
Can I just say a couple of things?
Yeah.
Sorry, while we are at it, and Jan, I just wanted to recognize the work that Jan did last year for RFG for us. That was a very difficult conference to pull together, and Jan led a significant portion on looking at geoethics and led kind of the ESRS group, ESRS's input into that conference. So do you have any visibility of what's happening with that? Are there discussions, Jan, about taking it further? Or?
Actually, the IAPG is organizing environmental sessions and geoethics sessions at the European Geoscience Union in Vienna in April, and I'll be there. And we have about, I think, 35 papers. We haven't followed up within Canada. We also, in RFG, that worked out quite well, actually. That was a good effort. And we brought many people together. As a result of RFG, the International Association of Promoting Geoethics has signed memorandums with the, what's it called? It used to be called Geoscience Canada. Now it's called something, Canadian Earth Science Federation. And we also signed an agreement with the Geoscientists Canada, between the International Association and those offices. So that it was productive also for establishing relations and networks.
That's good. Thank you, Jan. There's on the activities of the executive of ESRS, one thing that I should mention, I didn't do that yet, but there was a strong focus on partnership this year between ESRS and other committees and branches and societies of CIM. So just to let you know that we are trying to be present with other committees such as DIEC, Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Committee of CIM, also joining the how do you call that, the Canadian Mining Schools Committee. The same with MES, and we are making sure that we are there with branches and participating with any kind of activities coming from other societies, such as MES and one technical program that we're partnering to organize together. So just want to make sure that partnership is something that we strongly believe in. And I think it's part of this new mentality of CIM, which is one CIM. So this is important to mention. Any comments or questions to us?
Could I add a little comment to that? I think this is a great idea, because I believe that what ESRS does is really an overlay of all other activities in CIM. environmental and social responsibility should be a part of any of them. And it occurred to me once, but that this was difficult to organize. It might be useful to have a deliberate strategy and take one of the other societies and make a presentation there that links their field to environmental and social responsibility. I haven't thought this through, but I thought it would sort of draw the attention of the other society to our work and vice versa.
As a matter of fact, Jan, this year for the CIM convention, Carola and Karen are in charge of organizing, setting up meetings with other societies and trying to be part of their own AGM as an action, not an action item, but an item to talk about what we do and what type of work could be done together. So we're already planning to be part of the AGM of the other societies or committees.
Great. I obviously didn't read the documents in enough detail, otherwise I would have known.
No, you cannot know that. We didn't share the strategic plan. Maybe we should, but we didn't do it. But that will be shown and present at the AGM also as an action item, okay? Other comments regarding our activities? If not, I will probably just talk. Oh, it's not there. I will probably talk on the, I didn't share my screen, but you saw on the agenda that we were going to talk about the CIM Council. As a little report to you, and being the chairperson for ESRS, we had the CIM Council 2 weeks ago, and for those of you who don't know how it works, it's usually not a full day, but it looks like a full day most of the time because it's very intense. For let's say from this time it was from noon to 5:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday or a Sunday. This time it was on a Sunday, and we discussed basically activities of CIM. So we had a few items related to the CIM convention, of course, and we also had the presentation of the new CIM website that is coming, which looks very nice, and which they focused on partnership also. With this mentality of one CIM, they're focusing on partnerships and communities. By communities, they mean activities within CIM that are shared by societies and branches. So this is a new mentality, and I really enjoyed that type of new mentality. And also we had this at the CIM Council, Janice Zink, who's the president, she told us about this new global initiative on tailings, which was very interesting. And what I saw is that CIM was hoping to get a better share, not a better share, but to get some leadership regarding that type of topic. So now they are working with our working groups on tailings, and they will be in discussion with Alistair Kent regarding that global initiatives on tailings, which is nice. They are very inclusive. New website, global initiatives. We also spoke, we had the topic on actually funding requests at this meeting were very big. There was a funding request coming from the CSA, and we will meet, Karen and I will meet the CSA people in the near future regarding the type of activities that ESRS could do with them, such as in most of the standards, there aren't many things regarding social responsibility and not much about environmental issues as well. So we want to make sure that we are much more involved with them, and that they are much more inclusive of those topics that are very important, as you know. So this is a meeting that we are expecting very soon, and we'll be able to have a summary of that at the AGM in Montreal, CIM convention. In terms of funding requests, we had a big one coming from Roy Slack, which is the incoming president of CIM, and Roy Slack being also in charge of the One CIM committee. internal committee wanted us to be to have a I don't have my document with me, so my apology if I'm not that clear, but want us to be involved with an exhibit, a special exhibit on mining that will be created by the Science North group in Sudbury. And it's an exhibit that could come to CIM convention, that will be present during CIM conventions and could move around territories, provinces, and even in the States, United States. And for that project, they're looking for $1.5 million. So they're trying to get that together, get some kind of a funding, and they are requesting funding from societies, even branches, and they are looking at corporate at the corporate levels also. So it's not a done deal. It's something in progress, and Rory will be presenting that project at the AGM in our ESRS-CIM in Montreal also. So those are the main topics that I remember from the CIM Council. Anything else? Any questions?
I have a little comment about fundraising for that event. In one of my past roles, I contracted a professional fundraiser who got 20% of what he raised. And if you have enough time, this may be a way to go. You would have to do due diligence as to the choice of the person, but it might be of help.
Okay. Well taken. There was also I forgot to mention that the CIM National Office is looking at they are questioning their rent. This is the end of their contract this year, and they are thinking of maybe moving from Montreal, or maybe looking at another place where they could rent or maybe own their own office space. So this is something that will come probably in 2020.
With the oil price down in Calgary, there's lots of vacancy I've seen. So way cheaper than La Belle Province.
Yeah, so we'll see. But we told them, I asked myself a question, which was more like a comment saying that maybe you can be outside of Montreal, maybe in the suburb. That could be a good way of saving monies also. That was basically the CIM Council. Of course, it's a long meeting, but aside from the request for funding, it was a short meeting. And the next meeting is on the 27th of April. So it's a full day on the Sunday. Is it the 27th? Is a Sunday? I think. No, it's a Saturday. Is it the Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Whatever. It's the Saturday. So that's a full day for us. And I will make a more complete report to the AGM also. Anything else, or comments or questions from the participants? If not, I think that's the end of the meeting. So any other activities, something that you would like to share? If not, then thank you very much to all of you. And my apology if the members of the executive are not there, but many of them had a very active and very busy schedule for the last few weeks, and we had a meeting of the executive yesterday also. So most of them knows exactly what's going on, and I'm very proud of them. So just to let you know. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.